Flying across the United States in a relatively normal aircraft can first appear to be a mundane task, but in this video, I started a series comparing the service of America's big three airlines, American, Delta, and United. In this video, I fly on an American Airlines Boeing 737-800 from Dallas-Fort Worth all the way to Dulles International Airport in Washington, D.C. Stay tuned. My trip on American Airlines did not begin as expected. In fact, I wasn't supposed to be flying on American Airlines at all. Originally, I had been scheduled to fly with United Airlines in their 737, but last second, that flight got delayed, which meant that I'd missed my connection in Dulles, and thus I need to rebook on American Airlines. Thankfully, this process worked well, and in the morning, I went through a short security line in what appeared to be one of the older terminals at DFW. After security, I walked around the terminal and did a bit of plane spotting, and then eventually made my way to the gate. However, the last-second airline switch was not the only plot twist in my journey, as once I got to the terminal, or rather the gate, it was apparent that no aircraft was there, and we had to relocate to an entirely different terminal. So, the rest of the passengers and crew all made their way up to the top of the terminal onto DFW's Skylink. This was my first time flying over the top of Dallas's terminals in a train, and the views it provided of the whole airport and tarmac were incredible. Finally, we all found ourselves at the correct terminal, and the correct aircraft. The aircraft we were flying on this flight was one of American Airlines 737-800 NGs, not one of their newer MAX variants. Finally, I walked myself all the way down to the tunnel and into the aircraft, and from there walked down to the back of the aircraft, where I was seated in economy class, which was unfortunately a middle seat. I had selected a window seat in my original United flight, but because of the last-second change, that privilege was stolen. My seat was decently spacious for someone 6'4", and also included were individual air vents for better circulation and universal power outlets to charge your electronic devices. Overall, the economy product was decent, albeit without dedicated in-flight entertainment. American provided entertainment options to your own devices, however, which for me consisted of watching the World Cup semifinal between France and Morocco with my Argentine seatmate. My Argentine seatmate, who enthusiastically spoke of the incredible scenes in Argentina from which he had just arrived from, diligently held up my recording equipment to capture our taxiing, takeoff, and landing. While we're taxiing, if you've enjoyed this content thus far, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you want to see the rest of this comparison series, or in general other quality aviation content, simply pressing that red button below will help immensely. That being said, we were soon ready for takeoff. After takeoff, we soon soared above the Dallas skies. After reaching cruising altitude, flight attendants offered a light snack, as well as a non-alcoholic drink free of charge. I chose some Biscoff cookies, a ginger ale, and some coffee to keep me awake. Overall, American's refreshment service for a flight of around 2 hours and 40 minutes was standard and fully sufficient. The rest of the flight was relatively uneventful, except for turbulence about halfway through our flight. If you enjoyed this review thus far, please consider giving this video a like to show your appreciation. Before long, you were already beginning our descent. Overall, my flight with American Airlines felt standard, and though I was disappointed to lose my middle seat, the company of my new Argentine friend more than made up for it. The seat felt adequate, the crew were friendly, and there's little I can complain about. But remember, this is only my first flight of free. To truly understand the differences between America's Big Free, hit that subscribe button to get alerted when part 2 of the series releases. Ultimately, the only aspect of the whole flight that I can complain about is the lack of an IFE system, but because few airlines offer it anymore on their domestic flights, it doesn't discount much. After descending through cloudy skies, we were finally ready for our landing. After a short taxi, all the passengers deboarded the aircraft, while I hurried to my next flight with United Airlines. But that's for the next video. If you like this type of aviation content, consider becoming a channel member. For as little as $1 a month, you get access to old content from this channel, exclusive roles in my Discord server, behind the scenes access, and recognition in each of my videos. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next.